The stories you are about to see are real. The rewards up to $5 million are real. This is Crime Reports and Rewards with Griff Griffin and Dave Michaels, where you stay anonymous, the criminals don't.
Chairman of the Board of Augusta Crime Stoppers, Douglas M. Day, EARIA, is helping area law enforcement find and question the persons of interest in these photographs. They were taken at the scene of about $100,000 in damages to a house that was tore apart on the inside, every door kicked in, and a forest fire set ablaze around the house, destroying several valuable trees. They appear to be of one light-skinned black male driving a 2001 Pontiac Aztek, yellow in color. The black or brown factory rims are also badly painted. The black male subject may be wearing his hair in cornrows or dreads and looks to be accompanied by a much younger black female who may be underage. If you think you know who or where either of these suspects may be, please call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you can remain anonymous and get paid. Richmond County Sheriff's deputies are asking for your help IDing this white female with cornrows or short dreads in her hair, who they say broke into a car, stole the owner's ID and checking account information, then cashed a check worth thousands of dollars. The photos you see on your screen were taken at the Georgia Bank and Trust located at 3133 Washington Road. This dread-wearing white female is suspected of cashing a stolen check made out for $2,100, receiving only $1,000 in cash, then depositing $1,100 into the GB&T account. The cash check belonged to a victim whose vehicle was broken into in Columbia County. If you know who or where this dread-wearing white female may be, who was last seen driving a silver in color newer sedan, please call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office at 706-821-1080, Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and get paid to stop people from breaking into your cars. Columbia County Sheriff's Office is looking for the two black males you see on your screen. They walked into a Columbia County jewelry store and presented a counterfeit bank check for over $9,000, then walked out of the jewelry store with a very expensive diamond. They left the store driving in a dark in color Chrysler 300. While they were there, the jeweler called someone at the bank who said the cashier's check was good. But after they left, the jeweler was told by someone else at the bank that the cashier's check was counterfeit. So even though there was money in that account, the check was counterfeit, so the jeweler is out the $9,000 plus. If you know who or where these two suspects are, please call Investigator Van Vactor of the Columbia County Sheriff's Office at 706-541-2800, Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and can get paid enough to buy your own diamonds. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office is looking for this black male who on March 3rd shoplifted a Troy-built push mower in the box and a higher brand microwave, then left with them without rendering proper payment. The subject is a chunky 20-ish black male driving a dark SUV with a paper license tag. If you know who or where he is, please call Richmond County Sheriff's Office Deputy Angela Gates at 706-821-1088. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or email tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and get paid. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office is asking the public's assistance in identifying the suspect pictured in the two attached photos. On Wednesday, December 11th, the suspect, identified as a black male wearing a dark and colored hoodie-style jacket, blue jeans, and a green shirt with writing on the front, entered J.C. Penney, located at 3450 Wrightsboro Road, and presented a stolen J.C. Penney credit card. The suspect conducted an unauthorized transaction, then departed J.C. Penney. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office is asking for assistance in identifying the suspect pictured. Anyone with information leading to the identity of the suspect is asked to notify the Richmond County Sheriff's Office at 706-821-1080. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you can remain anonymous and get paid. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office has issued a Be on the Lookout, or FOLO, for the white male you see on your screen. On March 18th at approximately 1:30, the described suspect was seen entering an employee-only office area of the Chevron located at 1500 Gordon Highway. There was money sitting on the desk in the office, which was found to be missing from the office after the suspect left. Hey, let's leave a stack of cash on the desk with the door wide open. What could go wrong? The suspect is a white male, mid-40s, bald with dark goatee facial hair. He's about 5'7" in height, weighs about 170 pounds. He was last seen wearing a red shirt, dark jacket, blue athletic pants with a white stripe on the sides, and dark sneakers. The Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's assistance in identifying this suspect. If anyone has information regarding the incident or identification of the suspect, please contact Richmond County Sheriff's Office Deputy Angela Gates at 706-821-1088. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and get paid. Please reference this case number to 14-056286.
And now, this Crime Reports and Rewards special report.
Also tonight, the director of Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers standing by his principals, refusing to turn over an anonymous tip to a judge by literally eating it. Yep, there it goes, right there into his mouth. And now that cop is being held in contempt. Local 10 News reporter Victor Okendo is live at Crime Stoppers headquarters in Doral to explain this one.
Lori, after years on the force, Richard Mastin joined Crime Stoppers in 2008. Now he's standing up for something that he believes in, and unless he stands down, he faces up to 14 days in jail.
How far would you go to protect something you believe in?
The issue is the court asking Crime Stoppers to go back to their promise.
Yes, that's paper that former cop Dick Mastin munched on Friday. Why? Because Mastin is the executive director of Crime Stoppers Miami, and he refused Judge Victoria Brennan's order to divulge information from a tip.
I was afraid that I was going to be taken into custody and that would be part of the property, and there it goes. So I had a little lunch.
That lunch contained details about the tip and tipster that had called Crime Stoppers, and it's now making its way through Mastin's system.
With all due respect to you, I think your client's very passionate about it.
Is that, and
But I think sometimes passion can cloud judgment.
We promise the people that give us information to solve murders, serious violent crimes in this community, that they can call us with an assurance that they will remain anonymous and that nothing about them or their information will ever be compromised.
This all stems from a cocaine possession charge. The State versus Lisette Alvarez.
There's absolutely no information that I am looking for that has to do with the name or the identity of a tipster. It's only the evidence that would be used in trial against her that the tipster provided.
A defendant could work that case backwards and put the tipster at peril, and I'm not going to let that happen.
How'd that taste?
Pretty dry, to tell you the truth.
And Mastin has until Thursday to decide on whether or not he will give up that tip sheet. But he told our Local 10 crime specialist, John Turchin, that next time he sees a judge, he'll just bring his toothbrush. Doesn't sound like he'll be giving up too much information anytime soon. We're in Doral. I'm Victor Okendo, Local 10 News.
Who is it?
Somebody picked the wrong girl.
I'm Dave Michaels with this edition of Spot Crime, where we spotlight crimes around the CSRA. We've had 34 assaults in the CSRA. They took place on the 500 block of 15th Street, the 2100 block of C Street, the 2100 block of A Street, the 2800 block of Pepperdine Drive, the 2000 block of Ashley Street, the 1600 block of Lucky Street, Barton Chapel Road, the 1000 block of Clausen Road, the 1300 block of Lenny Walker Boulevard, the 100 block of Avondale Drive, the 2200 block of Southgate Drive, the 1700 block of S.E. McIntyre Boulevard, the 1600 block of Central Avenue, the 2700 block of Thomas Lane, the 2800 block of Glen Hills Court, the 5000 block of Charlie Drive, the 3600 block of J. Dewey Gray Circle, the 2800 block of Caramon Way, the 2200 block of Bandler Road, the 200 block of the Robert C. Daniel Parkway, the 3300 block of Deansbridge Road, the 4400 block of Ederly Drive, the 1100 block of Roselle Street, the 2800 block of Central Avenue, the 1700 block of Walton Way, the 4000 block of Peach Orchard Road, and the 3100 block of Peach Orchard Road, the 200 block of Deerfield Lane, the 2100 block of Gatewood Drive, the 2200 block of Southgate Drive, the 2400 block of Winston Way, the 1600 block of Roosevelt Street, the 400 block of First Street, and the 4300 block of Milledgeville Road. We've had 28 burglaries. They took place on the 2400 block of Brigade Court, the 600 block of Bristol Street, the 3200 block of Heritage Court, the 2300 block of Tubman Home Road, the 700 block of Grosse Tree Court, the 3000 block of Richmond Hill Road, the 2400 block of Golden Camp Road, the 2200 block of Broad Street, the 2300 block of Paling Court, the 3100 block of Greensboro Way, the 200 block of East Telfair Street, the 500 block of Forest Road, the 200 block of Telfair Street, the 1400 block of Ruffin Road, the 3100 block of Augusta Tech Drive, the 1800 block of Covington Place, the 2500 block of Madrid Drive, the 1700 block of West Valley Parkway, the 3200 block of Deansbridge Road, the 200 block of Walnut Street, the 4300 block of White Pine Court, the 2700 block of Barclay Street, the 3200 block of Paley Court, the 2400 block of Amsterdam Drive, the 2200 block of Woodward Avenue, the 2500 block of Lyman Street, the 2100 block of Harding Road, and the 3000 block of Deansbridge Road. We've had 2 robberies around the CSRA. They took place on the 600 block of Macon Avenue and the 3400 block of Wrightsboro Road. 1 damage to property took place on the 3400 block of Jonathan Circle, 1 reckless conduct on Windsor Springs Road, and 1 drug arrest on the 2200 block of Gordon Highway. If you have any information on these or any other crimes throughout the CSRA, call our tip line at 1-800-222-TIPS, where you can remain anonymous and get paid.
Richmond County Sheriff's Office reports 8 vacant townhomes were broken into recently. The report says a suspect broke into the back, either busting the glass or removing doorknobs, and left the door wide open. A witness says about 3 or 4 nights ago, around the time this happened, 2 guys were walking from there late at night with duffel bags. Well, why didn't you call the cops? Duh! The police report says they stole an air conditioning unit, 2 refrigerators, and a stove. Those are some duffel bags. The dollar amount of what was stolen was around $1,200, but the thieves will likely only get a couple $100 or less for risking jail. This isn't the only theft this week. Another rental property says copper was stolen from them too. The landlord of that property says damage from those thefts totaled more than $7,000. This is why Augusta Crime Stoppers and Crime Reports and Rewards is working day and night to get the message out that no matter how much we spend and raise taxes, it won't do any good, because many of the things we invest in for future are getting stolen before anyone has a chance to get a return on them. This is causing money to go to other things instead of creating jobs that create the tax base all government employees live off of. If you know who or where the suspects that burglarized these homes may be, please call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and keep your medals. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office reports a Columbia County firefighter's home was burglarized while he was working a 24-hour shift during the ice storm. Firefighter Jeff Prouty's family says the burglars took off with expensive electronics and priceless family heirlooms. Crime Stoppers want you to know that burglars and thieves are sometimes looked on and protected by entire communities as Robin Hoods who rob from the rich and give to the poor. Only we never see them giving to the poor unless it's a poor crack dealer. There is a certain attitude that if you're not standing guard over your stuff 24/7, that you have too much stuff and you don't need that much stuff anyway. But the facts are that most jobs lost now are the result of thieves and robbers wiping out entire companies when they steal the things that company needs to do their jobs. If a truck is loaded with all kinds of tools that an entire crew of workers needs to do their work with is stolen, as several have been lately, every worker loses their job until that truck and tools are replaced. Sadly, most of the time nowadays that never happens, and everyone just loses their job. The good news is these thieves gather in locations all over the CSRA to swap their stolen items for drugs and guns. And when they have these swap meets, they sometimes gather in large crowds. Keep your eyes open for sudden gatherings of people pulling things out of their trunks to sell and flash mobs of customers gathering to buy. This is when you can call the cops and have them ask for ID and inquire about where all this stuff came from. Most of the time, the thieves and burglars are driving on a suspended license, have outstanding warrants, or are fleeing from crimes they just committed, and are at the swap meet to buy guns and other items they intend to use to keep on robbing and thieving. So even though the cops may not be able to bust them for all the stolen stuff they're selling, at least they get slowed down a little with court appearances and sometimes even jail. Anytime you see a large group of suspicious individuals gather very quickly and start pulling things out of their trunk and offering them for sale, typically for next to nothing, or if someone is offering you something that they have no reason to have, then you are probably looking into the eyes of a burglar who may take a liking to your stuff too. If you know where any one of these people selling stolen items are, or know how police may find any of their thousands of burglars who are wiping out all the jobs in the area, please call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you can remain anonymous and keep your stuff.
Consider this an invitation to my gangster nation.
Recent shooting sign of growing gang violence in Richmond County, police tell the Augusta Chronicle's Bianca King. Authorities say they fear that the recent slaying of a teen points to growing gang violence in Augusta. Gang graffiti was spray painted at the intersection of Loftwood Drive and Brookshire Road. Investigators estimate that Richmond County has several gangs. Dijon Cortez Abbott, 17, was charged with murder, aggravated assault, and a weapons violation in a fatal shooting in July on East Kensington Drive. 19-year-old Marquez Eubanks died after being shot at that house party on East Kensington Drive on July 18th, and 2 others were wounded. The man police arrested in that homicide, Dijon Cortez Abbott, is a member of the South Augusta gang 23rd, which is warring with another gang called 600 or 600. Lieutenant Jason Benson, who worked with the FBI's gang unit before coming to the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, said shootings related to gang activity have become more frequent and are escalating more quickly from physical fights to gunfire. Benson said he's seen gang members getting more brazen about their allegiance recently. Instead of hiding the gang colors, they're flaunting them and getting t-shirts and hats made to show that they are gang members. The number of gangs in Richmond County is not clear, investigator Ashley Fletcher told the Augusta Chronicle. Every little or big neighborhood seems to have one, she said. Most of the gangs are comprised primarily of teens, but some of the more established ones have older members who are related to the younger ones. Barton Village's OWTT, or the O-Dubs, have been around since the 1990s and is one of the largest. The parents of the grown people I was investigating would claim to be members, Benson said, of the group that is estimated to have more than 100 gangbangers. 2 of last year's homicides were determined to be the result of gang activity. Danielle Hicks and Tremaine Jones were both fatally shot at the River Glen apartments within a month of each other. Police said the second death was retaliation for the first. Some of the gangs are considered smaller chapters of larger national gangs such as the Bloods, Crips, and Folk Nation. Devon Harris, who meets and speaks with gang members across the Aiken and Augusta area, says sometimes the only thing standing in the way of someone leaving a gang is finding steady employment. But dealing drugs or stealing items to resell are sometimes easier for a recovering gang member than moving on. Up to 75% of crime in any city is gang-related, Harrison estimated. They have to survive. Richmond County Sheriff Roundtree said he's working to create a gang task force that can prevent criminal activity. One of my main goals is to prevent young men from entering into crime or winding up in prison or dying in the streets, Roundtree said in an email. We understand that youth violence is a major problem in our area, and for years we have seen a steady increase in gang-related incidents. Our goal is not just to stop the cycle, but to break it. If you know of a gang crime, please call 1-800-222-TIPS or email your tip to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org or text your tip to 803-441-UP-HIGH, where you can always remain anonymous, the rewards are up high, and you tell Crime Stoppers how you want to be paid. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office and yet another crime victim need your help finding this woman accused of stealing a wallet at a Bobby Jones Expressway gas station. This black female drove a black pickup truck into the gas station and took the wallet off the counter that another woman had just laid down. The victim told deputies she saw surveillance video showing the woman grab the wallet and leaving. If you know who or where this black female may be, please call Investigator Van Vactor or any other investigator at 706-541-2800, Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you can remain anonymous and stuff your wallet with a cash reward.
And now, this Crime Reports and Rewards special report.
This week, Sheriff Roundtree makes some commendations and awards to some great deputies for some great work. On Sunday, February 9th, deputies Dennis West and Fred Lowe responded to an armed robbery of a business in progress at the Circle K convenience store located at 2916 Washington Road. Upon Deputies West's arrival, he is alerted by witnesses that a white male matching the dispatch description was running towards Boy Scout Road in the direction of the Knight's Inn. Deputy West went immediately towards the Knight's Inn and saw a person in the parking lot matching the description. Deputy Lowe was notified by Deputy West that he had the suspect in front of Building 300. Deputy West was immediately able to take the suspect into custody with the assistance of Deputy Lowe. The suspect was identified and a search of his person revealed a large amount of cash in his right front pants pocket. Deputies returned the suspect back to the business where he was ID'd by the store clerk and witnesses at the scene. Deputy West and Deputy Lowe's quick response and arrival not only resulted in the capture and identifying of the suspect, but also prevented his continuing victimization of businesses and residents of Augusta. Deputies West and Lowe should be proud of their performance and are to be commended for a job well done. Sheriff Roundtree awarded more commendations for more outstanding police work to Deputies Stephen Harden and Adam Green. On 2/13 at 0859 hours, Deputies Stephen Harden and Adam Green responded to the Sprint food store located at 3546 Deans Bridge Road in reference to a possible burglary in progress. Upon arrival, it was discovered that the lower part of the glass front door was broken with a rock. Deputies Harden and Green checked the business but found no one on the property. A witness walked over to the scene from Mars Hill Trailer Park and gave a description of the suspects. Deputies were also informed by the witness that the suspects were last seen running towards Mars Trailer Park. The suspects were apprehended by Deputies Green and Mundy a short time later. The food, drinks, and cigarettes taken during this incident were recovered in the possession of the suspects and returned to the business. The efforts of these deputies are to be commended. Their quick response to the scene, teamwork, and knowledge of the people who live in the area led to the arrest of 2 adult suspects. Their actions are appreciated by this office and all of Richmond County.
You've been watching Crime Reports and Rewards with Griff Griffin and Dave Michaels, where you stay anonymous. The criminals don't. If you have any information on these or any other crimes, call our national tip line at 1-800-222-TIPS. Well, you'll stay anonymous and could get a cash reward. You can see this or any other episode of Crime Reports and Rewards on the web anytime at crimereportsandrewards.com. Crime Reports and Rewards is a production of Michaels Media.